Roller flicks are one of the scariest one-shots in the game, either coming out extremely quickly in the form of the carbon roller, or covering a massive area with the dynamo. The only downside is that the range isn't all that great compared to where it can ink, but did you know there's a way to make the one-shot more consistent? For new players, rollers have three methods of dealing damage. You can press the fire button while on the ground for a horizontal flick, which has less range but comes out faster. You can press the fire button in the air for a vertical flick, which has a lot more range but comes out a decent amount slower, and you can hold down the fire button after either kind of flick to run someone over. For this video, I'm only going to be talking about the flicks, as rolling someone over is a guaranteed one-shot for all rollers except the carbon, and crushing people is not usually how you're going to be getting splats. In order to understand why this trick works, we need to understand the aiming reticle for rollers because it's very unique. Instead of the normal circular aiming reticle, rollers have arrows showing you where the ink will go. Because of this, it can be sometimes hard to tell if you're close enough to get the one shot because the game doesn't give you an indication, like it would for a blaster or a charger. For example, with the dynamo and the normal roller, my arrows overlap with this target dummy and they pop, but with the carbon roller I can have half the aiming guide go through it and it still won't go down. Of course, you will get used to this over time, but there is a way to make the flicks just a little bit more consistent that you can start implementing today. When you horizontal flick, instead of aiming at the inkling like normal, aim slightly lower, usually around their legs or feet. When you vertical flick, you lower your aim even more, literally not even looking at the target. The reason this works is because the roller flicks come out in an arc, which is shown by the arrows, and by aiming downwards, you slightly decrease the travel time of the ink by physically moving the roller forwards. This is much more noticeable with vertical flicks, especially the dynamo roller. When I flick with the dynamo, look how high up the arrows go. I mean, sure, I'll hit the target, but it's not very likely to get the splat. However, when I aim quite literally at the ground in front of them, it deals just enough damage to splat without me having to move closer. There are two major downsides to this trick. The first one is that because you're aiming lower, your ink won't go as far, so you're much worse at painting. The second is that if you aim too low, you'll just miss the enemy inkling completely. Doing this trick does technically increase the range at which you can get a flick one-shot, but it's not enough to realistically be useful. It's definitely not a good idea to do this every time you flick, especially when you know with certainty you've got your enemy in the one-shot range, but this can help you win those close fights just a little bit more often. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. I'm just starting off on YouTube, and I'd love the encouragement. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll hope to see you next time.